Tony Pollard versus Zeke. Tony Pollard is a guy who's an explosive running back, was drafted in the later rounds, versus the Raiders on Thanksgiving, had a kick return touchdown, something that I don't think Zeke could do. Personally, I think Tony Pollard he was running. Tony Pollard, you might as well call him Tony Pollard, because every time he goes for a run, I go, oh man, that was different. What? Tony Pollard, he's like that.
Tony Pollard, that's crazy.
Tony Pollard. So let me ask you guys.
My God, you need to go to jail, bro.
Is Tony Pollard better than Ezekiel Elliott?
Are we going to start with me because that's my absolute
you can start.
guy?
You can start. You have the Cowboy colors on right now.
The answer is no. Do I think that he has helped Ezekiel Elliott this season? For sure. He's taking a little bit of a load off for Ezekiel Elliott, and Ezekiel's getting older. And you want to save Ezekiel Elliott come playoff time.
Well, you also have to because of this 5-year, $80 million contract.
That's very true. But we saw the Rams do that and then not know how to manage Todd Gurley's situation.
I mean, I think the Rams just don't care about anything, though.
In what sense do you mean? I'm genuinely asking.
Jared Goff had an insanely high dead cap hit, and they still traded him.
6 years, $90 million.
I guess they realized that they still have
Todd Gurley had an insane dead cap hit, and Rams didn't care.
I love what the Rams are doing.
They don't even have picks.
They're playing Madden.
Care.
I love it.
Say it again. No,
they're playing Madden. I love it.
That's good. You know what's crazy? Because the Rams, they're doing this now. In like 2-3 seasons, they're going to be in such a hole. McVay is going to get fired. They're going to be a dysfunctional franchise again.
There's no way. We saw the Saints had negative $90 million in cap room coming into this year.
They had picks, though.
Okay, but we're talking about the cap situation.
They were able to draft, though.
Who did the Saints take this year?
I don't know who they took this year, but I know they took they've had some good drafts the past seasons. Their offensive line is built through the draft.
Yeah, I was just saying mostly the cap situation. The NFL, anything can be manipulated, so I'm not really worried about that. The draft picks is concerning, but hey, they know their championship windows right now, so go for it.
All right, let's get back to the topic at hand, please. Go. Ezekiel Elliott, that other guy. Ezekiel Elliott.
The other guy's Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. Yeah.
Can we stop calling him that?
That's the craziest
nickname. It's bothering me.
Yeah. You don't think it's a good nickname?
Well, why?
Tony Pollard.
But why? Like, I get it, but why?
Because you know how when pollen it just gets in, when you're around it, if it gets in your just I feel like when Tony Pollard,
he's just like smelling salts.
He's just a game breaking guy. Tony Pollard.
And Zeke isn't.
When Tony Pollard goes for an insane run.
All right. Here we go. Ezekiel Elliott, 720 rushing yards. That's 6th in the NFL, and this is a quote unquote. He's regressing, right? 6th in the NFL in rushing. 8 touchdowns. That's tied for 5th. He's still averaging 4.5 a carry, which for a regular running back is amazing. Fantastic. 7th in touches. He's still getting the volume. As much as Tony Pollard is has a role in this offense, it's still Zeke's for the taking. Has more receptions than Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard has been more effective with his touches. That being said, still 38 receptions on 46 targets. 228 receiving yards. Has a touchdown. Tony Pollard does not. Tony Pollard has 1 rushing touchdown. Ezekiel has 8. He's a great change of pace back. And that's absolutely perfect for what the Cowboys want to do. Not only just resting Ezekiel Elliott, but also changing the flow of the offense. Fantastic. And it's been working. It's been effective. You're not taxing Ezekiel, and at the same time, you're still having success. If Ezekiel Elliott was averaging 3.2 a carry, and obviously Pollard averaging his 5.3, which hats off to him. I was obviously joking before. He's been great. For sure. As a backup running back, he's been fantastic. No doubt in my mind, I think that he could go to another team and be a starter.
He can.
Just not on. He can. He's not Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott not only has the speed, not Tony Pollard's speed, but the ability to run through guys. Pollard isn't a beast like Ezekiel Elliott is. It's that simple. I mean, the numbers do not lie. He's still being one of the more used backs in the NFL, with still being one of the more efficient backs in terms of scoring the football, and his team's still having this success. And it's not, you cannot say that Pollard's been that as opposed to Ezekiel.
Tony Pollard may not be a beast, but he's a cheetah, he's a jaguar, he's a werewolf.
He's fast.
He definitely has that burst. If we're talking about rookie Zeke 2016, Zeke 2016, 2017 Zeke versus Pollard now and what Pollard's been since 2019, Zeke wins all day. Yeah, the problem with looking at the numbers you're looking at right now is that, of course, Zeke's are going to be far better. He's getting far more touches, It is what it is. And they use Zeke in goal line formation. Zeke is better than Pollard in 2 aspects. I'll say actually 3. Goal line running and short yardage running, just because he can truck people, trucking, and blocking. Those are the 3. Tony Pollard is better at everything else. Catching the football, breakaway runs. Pollard has the most rushing yards without starting. He's 4th in yards per carry in the NFL right now. Since 2019, listen to this. Since 2019, Pollard has 6.2 yards per touch. Zeke has 5.5 yards per touch. This year, Pollard has 23 missed tackles, 3.35 yards after contact, and 100 carries. Zeke has 15 missed tackles and 2.84 yards after contact and 160 carries. Breakaway run percentage. Pollard is at 30.5% this year. Zeke is at 24%. Zeke has been below 20% since 2019. Pollard has been at 28% and up since 2019. And I think it's 14%, not 24%. I did a typo. Pollard is at 30.5% and Zeke's at 14% in terms of breakaway run percentage. Then we talk about PFF. I understand PFF. They have their flaws. Nobody is perfect, but they are the best way for football fans to gauge advanced analytics and to see how certain players are playing. And PFF grade since 2019. Pollard this season. Pollard since 2019, 87, 71.3, and 82.9. I'm going from 2021 to 2019. Zeke, 70.9, 65.3, 77. If you look at the advanced statistics, Pollard leads Zeke in damn near everything. And remember that summer where Ezekiel Elliot was holding out and was in Cabo and didn't want to report to camp? If I was the Cowboys, I would have said, bye, because Pollard can replace you, and Pollard can be better than you in your own role. Because we're talking about 2019, the year Zeke got paid. Pollard, the Cowboys would have been fine without paying Zeke and making Pollard their workhorse back because he's capable of that role.
So you're saying that when 2019 he rushed for over 1,300 yards and had 12 touchdowns.
He didn't have more yards per carry that year than Pollard.
But bro, he's getting more attempts. Obviously, his yards per carry is going to be lower than Pollard's.
Not necessarily.
Why is that the case?
Because Zeke is gonna, for one, Zeke's gonna have
4.5 is ridiculous.
4.5 is good,
but for being 7th or what is
Pollard's
it?
was at 5 that year, 2019.
Again, he's not getting the workload because Ezekiel that year had 301 attempts. How many attempts?
I get what you're talking about, the workload. I get it. But when we're talking about the Cowboys and building their roster, they could have definitely let Zeke walk and had Pollard be in that role and be even better than him at that.
And I'm sorry, Joel,
and the advanced stats don't just show the like the advanced stats back up the eye test. When you watch Zeke and you watch Pollard play, Pollard, at least right now, and has looked like this for the past 2 seasons, he just looks more explosive, more dynamic. When Pollard has the ball, you just feel like something is going to happen. With Zeke, I don't really feel that way.
I'm somewhere in between both of you guys. I don't think I'm, hard on the Zeke side or hard on the Tony Pollard side. They're both really good running backs, and I think they complement each other well. That takes no credit away from Pollard. He's been really good this season. We've talked about it. He's going to have the most attempts, most touches he's ever had in his whole career. He had 101 rushes last year. He has 100 this year, racking up over 500 yards. Been really reliable in the pass catching 94% of his targets. In limited work, yes, he looks more explosive than Zeke. That's fine. I am getting some Tevin Coleman flashes here. I think about back in the day with the Falcons.
Wow.
With Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman, where Devonta Freeman would come in, he's the workhorse, he's getting 15, 20 touches a game, but Tevin Coleman comes in, he gets 8 to 12 touches a game, he looks explosive, he's knocking out big plays, and just looks like he's the more complete running back who should be starting. But then Freeman leaves Atlanta and goes to the 49ers, and he was never really that guy. He got a huge contract, and in 14 games his first year in San Fran, he rushed for 544 yards, averaged 4 yards an attempt. So in limited work, running backs could look really good, like we saw with Tevin Coleman in the past. I don't know if Tony Pollard's body can hold up and get 300 touches like Zeke has done multiple years and really show that explosiveness once you get into week 12, 13, 14 like Zeke has done year after year.
Correction. Zeke, for his career breakaway run percentage, is at 24%. Pollard is at 30.5%. That's because 2016, Zeke had a 33.7% breakaway run percentage. The very next year in 2017, 17.5. In 2018, it was at 36.5. Since he got paid, 2019 to 2021, Zeke has been at 18.5, 11.6, and 16.8. And Pollard, for his career, is at 30% breakaway run percentage.
And how many less snaps does Tony Pollard have than Ezekiel?
He probably, this year the gap is much.
60, he has 60 more touches than Ezekiel.
Yeah, this year the gap is much less than it was in previous years. And in this season, we're seeing Pollard, in Zeke's absence, be really good. And even when Zeke's there, be really good and have sometimes 14 plus touches and be very productive.
Okay, so 2020, 101. That's what Pollard had. Ezekiel had 244. Now, this is, again, without Dak Prescott.
So I want to ask you this. So right now, you think Zeke is still better than Pollard?
Yes.
Okay. Second question. You're the Cowboys. After the 2018 offseason, knowing you got this guy Pollard on your team who's ready to be phenomenal. You're paying Zeke.
Because, look, you just got Pollard in 2019, and in 2019, Zeke rushed for over 1,312 touchdowns.
If Pollard wasn't on the team, or if he was a rookie, that's hard to... I'm in the boat of don't pay running backs. If I have a really good backup, sure, and then I'll pick up another one in the draft or something, but it's hard for me to go into that season, especially when Zeke has been the focal point of my offense. He makes this offense go, and Dak Prescott is leaps and bounds better with him on the field. It's hard for me to overlook that and be like, let me just put my faith in Tony Pollard, and I haven't seen him play a single down in the NFL.
And if not for Ezekiel Elliott getting suspended for the last 6 games of his second season, he has consistent 4 seasons in a row of over 1,000. And with Dak Prescott being out, he was 21 yards short of 1,000.
I think last year was his worst season.
Well, that's obvious.
That was the worst Cowboys season in the last 5 years.
But also, Zeke didn't look like a game-changing back.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He looked like a regular back.
One, because not only was the offensive line banged up, lost 3 of their starters.
I see the same thing happen with Derrick Henry. He still plays phenomenal.
All right, we're talking about the best back in football.
Well, I seen Dalvin Cook be game-breaking with the Vikings.
They have really good rush blocking.
They do, but still, Cowboys weren't abysmal last year at offensive line.
The Cowboys' defense last year was garbage. Terrible. Okay, that's one.
That's more possessions for the offense.
But you're losing.
And you have 3. Exactly.
Okay.
Checkmate?
That is a checkmate moment. I just think Pollard is better than Zeke. And for the record, I used to be in a connected franchise Madden online league. I was the Atlanta Falcons. And I traded for Tony Pollard. 2,000 yards rushing first season with Tony Pollard. I know what Pollard's capable of because I've did it. I've used him before.
Bro wants to be the GM of the Jets. Now he's head coach of the Falcons.
Earlier in the season, you said Zeke's regressing. Can we just say that narrative's done?
I don't think it's done. I see it.
Bro, what do the numbers tell you? He's still one of the best backs in the league. He's fourth in rushing yards. He's 6th in rushing yards. Tied for 5th with touchdowns and 18th in the league in yards per carry at 4.5.
I feel like I can name 10 better running backs than him.
Please do.
That I'd rather have.
Please do.
Okay. If you have to start a team with a running back, that's how I'm gauging this. Would you rather have Najee or Zeke?
When you're starting a team, it's different.
So whack. Right now, just tell me who you're taking. It's simple.
I would Javonte or Zeke. I'd probably take Javonte over Zeke.
And you're doing crap.
I was gonna say that's your soft spot, Javonte. I mean, Javonte is gonna be phenomenal. I wouldn't call you crazy.
I wouldn't call you absolutely insane.
But the only absolutes that I would take over Zeke right now is Derrick Henry when healthy, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, but he's been banged up this year. Chubb, yes. Yeah, I would take Chubb.
CMC because of
Chubb is a younger Ezekiel.
Yeah, facts.
Alvin Kamara, I'm taking him over Zeke.
Yeah, I would take
Aaron Jones or Zeke.
Zeke, no doubt.
Saquon Barkley or Zeke.
Zeke.
If they both have great offensive lines.
I'm done with Saquon.
No, I'm being serious.
I understand, but the numbers do not lie. Zeke.
Joe Mixon, I would take Joe Mixon over Zeke.
Okay, that's recency bias.
David Montgomery.
Zeke. What's going on with these names?
Bro, I'm being serious. David Montgomery.
You're taking David Montgomery?
Right now, I'm probably taking David Montgomery.
Yeah,
When was the last time? Montgomery rushed for 100 the first game of the season, and he did get hurt, but what has he done since coming back?
He's got hurt 2 years in a row now.
J.K. Dobbins healthy? I'm taking J.K.
I have to see him healthy.
Okay.
Bro, you do crack before the show. Be real with me.
I'm just letting you know that Zeke.
You don't like Zeke.
Bro, it's not that I don't like Zeke. It's that you can tell me all day that he's not regressing. He's sixth in rushing yards, but I see it with my eyes. I see it with my eyes.
Failing you, King, because
they're not failing,
bro.
me.
They are.
Zeke's.
That's how much I had. 20
Not a lot of running backs can handle 200+ touches. I don't know if Tony Pollard can. I know Zeke can and still be pretty efficient with it and be a top 10 running back. I don't know if Pollard.
Zeke is injured now.
And he was a full go at practice, and he's still playing.
And Jerry Jones said he's getting a full load. He's like, yes, and that's fine. If they want to sit him, pause. But still, if they want to sit him, that's fine. I have no problem. Like you're gearing up for the playoffs. I'd rather Zeke sit now. Tony Pollard be a perfectly capable fill-in for a week or two, and then once the playoffs come, I have 2 100% healthy backs ready to go with this offense.
Because you don't want another Rams situation.